Creation is the process of vision to execution. It's the idea of taking something from nothing to everything and presenting it well. How do you guys work on teams to build out your ideas?
Team working.
I suppose, I think for me, like when I'm building out a show or if I'm working on a project or album with somebody, it takes, a bunch of people to create, the engineer, the studios, whether it's the business people or the songwriters or even the cameraman or regardless. I think creation is always, or usually more a process of a bunch of people sometimes. So I was curious to how do you kind of take your vision and share this so that people understand where this vision is going?
Also, for me, it's about something really unusual, and nowadays it's called respect. When you have respect with your crew, when you have respect with the people you work, it's so easy to share your ideas, your project. And the other people, when you tell with respect and you are able to hear your crew or part of the team, they give you a lot of good ideas, much better than maybe you have before. So I have an example, music example with Chimo Bayo. We were shooting a TV show program for Apunt, the regional television here, and it was a touring format for this TV show. And we worked together, and suddenly the sound recorder engineer told me, Freddy, why we don't bring Chimo to this part of this TV show program? So I know Chimo Bayo, I called Chimo Bayo, and during all the shooting, this guy over there mixed some music. The audience, because you can share to Magda or to Nacho something, and he told me, and I hear how he's doing, maybe we can make something collaborated. He might say, oh no, Nacho, I need that pitch over there. Why? I don't care, I need a pitch over there to say, fuck these people, so it's crazy, this man. So you do it because I pay you or because you pay me, so, but you don't have respect for the work. Mm-hmm. That's what's my idea.
Cool. So creation doesn't stop with you. The creation, the idea is always flourishing as the teams build, as the execution comes out.
For me, not for me, and I'm sure.
What about for when you're building out the shows at the Arts? Does you have the idea, you have the script, you have sort of all the concepts? How are you making sure that the people working with you see exactly what you see, so that when it's delivered to the audience, it's exactly what you maybe envisioned?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a balance between a framework soul, because then you can navigate the process better and always be in tune with your team.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, I would like to second Freddy and Magda here by saying how important it is respect and get to know each other previous to a show or whatever. In my case, my shows I tend to play on my own. I'm alone on stage. But for instance, when you get to play a big festival like Sonar, for instance. It's so important that you have a brief meeting with the crew before, and when you're alone on stage in front of 9,000, 10,000 people, you need to be safe. You need to feel safe, you know. And there's no way to feel safe if you don't talk to the crew that is working with you before, right? For instance, if I don't know, I remember one night one of my CDJs failed, right? And I was in front of 9,000 people, and suddenly there was no music. Okay, so I just raised my hands, and it took only 30 seconds for a technician to come and replace it with another one. Okay, so in that moment I felt safe. I felt, okay, I have a professional crew with me working, and nothing can go wrong, even if it goes wrong. Okay?
Right. So like the idea is protected by the format. Like to ensure that the expression of your original idea is to be, you know, transported to the audience, there must be a framework sort of that's flowing this, making sure that all of the things out of our control are in control. In control,
yeah. That's so important. And without respect, that's impossible.
Communication, respect, and a good technical team, I guess, can go a long way.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'd love to ask Freddy individually, while writing and directing a film, how do you align your vision with your team?
So, the first of all, you must be honest with you, I think, in my opinion. And now, today, we are working with a documentary from Ibiza, for example. And when I'm working, for example, with the people, we are going to shoot someone, we are going to shoot in some place. You need to write really focus the script, but you must have this contact with you. You must be a calm, meditative vision of your inside, because when you're going to shoot, there is a lot of so 1 camera, 2 camera, 3, a lot of people asking you questions and play. Why you have it's raining? You want a sunny day, but you have a lot of problems. But when you have the script, I write everything. I know what's talking about Nacho said, because I write it, and because I like when I have an idea, I write it. And before this part of the creation of the process, you need to write, but calm and see your inside, because you will not have time when you're going to shoot. And that happens also in the editing part. It's really important in the editing, because now we have Fer Salas, is a great editor. It's really, and we talk about it a lot. I give some reference. Look that. I am sleeping. I said, look this reference. Look this emotion, and we talk a lot. And you need to talk a lot and really share the script to all the part, a lot. Don't say, no, no, and you say, something is, this reference is like that. It doesn't mean you need to copy, it doesn't mean you made the same, but you have the same mood. And this work means, with the first version of the editing part, you have this mood. And this mood should be the same as the mood of the script.
Right.
If you talk a lot with the people, you share a lot of feelings, you share a lot of problems. I care. With this summer, the editor have a child, and he needs to spend time with the child. Okay, we respect that, and we talk about the child. He's in a mood. He could give a lot to the editing part, but the people in the crew should feel the same. So for the first side to the last part of, and also the sound designer. The sound designers will be not in the shooting, will be not writing with you. They were alone with all the music ready for you. And you need to say, okay, I'm calm, I'm repeating the same atmosphere to you that months or years ago was on script. Now we share, and it's another level. And you must have all this level, the shooting crew, the editor crew, and the sound designer, always in the same mood.
So just to make sure, like, everything's written down, everything's clear, so that, like, there's no confusion when it comes to sort of, like, the entire part of the process.
You write it, and you be the first honest with you to take the confusion out. For sure, after that you have a lot of confusion in the process. But when you feel it inside, when you touch it, you say, now I get it. You can share it. But it's really dumb to go to the shooting without not feeling in yourself, sorry. Because you can not share. He asked me, or she asked me, how we do that? Say, it's supposed to be, no, say, that is this feeling. And you help the other people to work with you. So this is the meditative first inside vision is so important to ally all the team.
Got it.
And sorry, I speak a lot. I'm so sorry.
So
So sorry.
we have another question as well. No, you're good. So in the production of art, I wanted to ask, I think there's a lot of debate about this idea when I speak to artists, producers of all kinds. Do you feel like the audience is a part of the creative process, or do you feel like this is something that comes after? Just for everyone, like when the flow state of creation, is there ever an audience that you're sort of alluding to in the back of your mind, or is it simply creation of art and then those who react come second?
Wow. I think we need a couple of more hours to answer
Yeah.
this.
Within, if you could wrap it up in 1 minute, if you could just, a quick sentence, yeah.
I mean, from a DJ perspective, the audience is like 50%, of the creation. Obviously, when we DJ, it's like having like a conversation with the audience. Okay, so I don't know what's going to happen until I play a record and I see the reaction. Okay, and based on that, I'm going to build my DJ set. So for me, the audience is like more than 50% of my, and it's going to affect directly my way of DJing in that moment.
Right. So,
I have a question for you.
of course.
Okay. How do you realize when you are in the good mood? When you say, "Now I get it."
You see the signs, no? You see more people going to the bar. Then this record is not the right one, obviously. You see more people dancing. This is the right record, and then you follow this path.
Yeah. When
And
people
you look in the
start
eyes of the people.
I mean, it depends on the situation. Obviously, in a clubbing situation with 300 people, you can look them in the eyes. But in a festival in front of 9,000, you don't see eyes at all.
You see the bouncing.
Yeah, you see us bouncing.
When you're producing a track, is this similar? Just because you have like a DJ framework, I feel, when you're approaching music, perhaps?
Producing a track it depends on the type of track. Okay, if it's a track for a TV show or for a movie, it's different. But if it's a track for an independent dance music record label, obviously you have the audience in mind, and you know what kind of tricks work better with the audience, like when it's gonna affect if I decide to put a breakdown or not in my song, or how to get out of a breakdown, stuff like that.
Right.
You know?
You have an idea of like what's gonna cause a certain reaction.
There's always the in the studio, even when you are producing, the DJ vision is so important.
Yeah.
It's always on the back of your mind, like trying to.
Yeah, I feel like how we create and produce, even from shows to films to novels. I think your first frame of reference of how you got into art is often sort of the frame of reference you take into different forms. I was curious to what you think as well.
Yeah, I would agree with Nacho about the kind of a little bit more than 50%. I do play the room, and I do have the audience in a sort of in my heart, whatever it is, whether it's a show, whether I'm doing an arrangement, whether it's me performing on stage, or when I'm even writing music. I don't like creating music in the void. I do it for people. People are important to me. However, I think that the rest of it, let's say whatever is left, it needs to be so honest, and it needs to have a lot of artistic integrity and be a true statement at the same time. So I think a combination of both. An interesting experience for me as far as the audience and how to engage the audience is that I built my performance career in restaurants where people didn't really care about the music, they just ate. But then there were some moments where they would turn.
It all turned, yeah.
And then accumulatively through the years and years and years of playing in restaurants, if you kind of like gather all these moments, it's like a little toolbox. You start to understand what is it, a chord change? Is it a dynamic range? Is it the lyrics? Is it the register? So you kind of collect all these moments and learn how to create an engaging experience for them.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. Would you like to add as well?
I would ask her, because you collect the situation for the performance in the restaurant?
If I'm playing something and then you don't care.
That's really important, because
at some point you care and you turn and you look at me.
Yeah.
I know what I did.
Yeah.
I understand it. I put a list. It's a Google Doc. It's a spreadsheet. It's like, okay, I played this chord changes. I think it's the harmony. This person turned, or I sang in a specific way, and it just becomes a list of things that I understand that I can connect with. It's a little abstract.
No, but because the TV shows like that is you must be the same. You must be. No one is. You must take the attention of the people, because what you make is totally different for the film. The people who pay for an entry, they go. But the people with the TV show must be so touching, the attract for the same, and you need to be fast to say that works. I think it's the same.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
With the TV shows, I think is where there was this. Yeah.
Cool. So if I could follow up as well. So I'm curious about where or how do your favorite ideas come? Like, is there maybe for me, I feel like being in the park, and also like when I party sometimes, for somehow the conversations I have, I end up writing an idea down. And sometimes it's not too bad. You wake up in the morning and it was actually a decent idea. And sometimes not, but that's how it goes. I'm curious, what does the building up the idea look like at the very first stages when it just kind of pops into your head?
Who wants to go first?
It can be vastly different, where an idea comes from. I don't know, as you mentioned, you are in the park one day, or when you go to party, for instance, you mentioned going to party. If I go out on a night and then I hear like a good DJ set, it can be so inspiring to me that sometimes I go home and I'm in the need of getting into the studio and like write down this idea before it goes away.
Right, before bed.
But it depends, I don't know, sometimes it's like you are on the beach or you are wherever. I always have my phone full of notes with maybe a voice note, or maybe I write something down, when an idea comes, just to try to catch it as soon as possible.
Right. Where do you think, maybe this is esoteric, but I'm just curious, where do you think this original point comes from? Is it just floating around in your subconscious? You think you're pulling it from something, or maybe this?
No, but
just curious.
That's a good question,
yeah.
actually.
I think it's interpretive, for you.
Maybe a feeling.
I don't know.
Either or. You guys are both.
For me, the idea is 3 Bs. There was someone told me that, and I think he's totally right. I don't remember the name of this guy who told that, but this 3 Bs is bath, when you're having a bath.
Okay. Yes.
Not bath, the other bath, no. Bedroom, where you are, the first moment you will wake up, the first 15 minutes when you put your phone out of the room, it's much better, because when you have this 15 minutes, the bedroom and the bus. But you can change bus where you go in the bus because you're not driving. You can change bus for urban, for metro, but you don't need to drive. And the 3 Bs will work for me. and you don't need to combination with drugs.
Mm. No, not
Only
necessarily.
that is okay.
Yeah.
For me, is not alcohol, not it's a lot of poetry. I'm agree with these 3 B's.
Mm. Like a comfortable, like you've a comfortable kind of like.
The life is so intensive that you need with these 3 B's for me, it's something you say, bah, that's the idea. Just come to you.
Yeah, like after the day is done, or like you've already processed all the information, and now you can finally kind of get to the art part of your life.
And you need with that moment you need the note.
I need to write it down.
You need that because if you have it, you don't have the note.
I have about 10 minutes before I think of another thing. So,
You need to stop everything. That's why you can drive because you need to stop.
It's a stop at the gas station.
I lot, yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
And so,
or the red light. No,
yeah.
just kidding. You have to stop at the gas
but
station.
you need to stop. You don't know to go a kilometer further or miles further. You need to stop.
And for you as well?
Actually, it's the opposite.
Ostras.
Yes. I need to be uncomfortable in order to be inspired. I need to travel. I need surprises. I need unexpected things. I need the unknown. I find inspiration through new things. So I try if I feel dormant, I just go somewhere, book a trip, and delve into the unknown. And I use also voice memos.
Yeah. My voice memos are almost full.
Because the journey you make is a journey to your insights. Because do you feel your travel where you are going outside to the travel journey?
Mm-hmm.
You feel your travel to your inside?
Yes, absolutely, because it's you are out of your routine.
Oh.
So it kind of like pushes you to think in a different way, inevitably. So you're rewiring your system.
Cool.
Yeah.
So to follow up on that, so I don't know. I noticed in everyone's art, it's either you're capturing the present, the past, or maybe a feeling or the future. So I'm curious, what does it mean to you to capture the moment in your art?
Love those questions.
Wow. You can take a second. I can talk further. I feel in your films, it's very much sort of kind of trying to understand the past and sort of contextualizing, being able to share this phenomenal story. And I think for producing, you're capturing, well, depending, the songwriting or depending what you want, you're kind of capturing a moment that's fleeting.
This in the film way, or also where we're working with Danny, with everyone, we in the documentary, is the language of the visual, because you capture a moment, you're freezing a moment.
Yeah.
That was so important to be focused, because to capture the moment, you must be really in the contact with the eye contact. This is really important with Nacho say to my work, because if I put the camera here and look at that woman, I don't need to be in this high. I need to go there, put the same level, because there's not fine, and then out, because there's something with braille, and you capture the moment looking direct to the woman. And it's so important because that is what the audience see. And that's what Nacho says. Yeah, because he is the one who dances. Because he's the one in the front of the camera that we are shooting. And these people over there, he's talking, I say, please, can you be quiet?
They didn't hear you.
He's making nervous to her. Because it's something, everything must be in the same atmosphere to capture the moment. The first one that you don't need distraction is you. So never shoot someone high or look to the eyes. And it works. It's the same as before. That's for me the best way to capture the real moment. And when someone will see that on the screen, they say, oh fuck, I understand this feeling. I understand why she's talking. I understand what this woman is inside. Because everything is stopped. It's only focus. This is the way I work. Well, I prefer to work. This is why I don't like the combos. I don't like with the actors to go outside and say, no, I will like, no.
You have to lock them in the room.
No,
No, I agree.
I never look into the cameras. I always, the camera's here. I trust a lot in Danny. He made the work, but I go here to the camera's here. I don't need to the screen, the visor. I don't like that because you put something between us. That's how it is.
For you, I think you create in multiple forms, which is very cool. So for you, you'll make you either compose for others, you may release a project on your own, capturing something, or you are doing a theater. So that's a completely different forms. Do you, I guess so I think you could answer in 3 different ways, but is there like an overall sort of, what are you capturing kind of thing for everything?
Yeah, and next, also, thank you also for this question and for these great answers and for these great people.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. But thank you to Jonathan. Yeah, I did think of the question though.
I was thinking about Freddy was speaking. I was like, the moment, right? Isn't it the goal of our life to be able to live in the present? We talk about it in meditation, in yoga, in therapy, in parties, everywhere, about how to live the moment and make it big and massive. I would say the common ground between those 3 things is the moment, because usually all my work is goal-oriented. It's a show, it's a record. You know, yesterday I released a new single. The thing is that there's a moment before it's over, where I have to think, did I pay attention to the process? Did I pay attention to the journey? Can I remember all the little moments that make up the big moment, or was I rushing through it? And the most rewarding time usually is when I allow myself in the process of a show to remember that rehearsal when somebody played something beautiful and it was chaotic, but it was beautiful, it was nice, and people smiled. Those tiny little moments to allow yourself to, it's not about the end. Before the start show, before the show, I sit on the chair and my work is done, I usually cry because there's nothing else I can do. The work is before, is how do you enjoy the less impressive stuff?
Yeah. Some people would call that flow state. Oh. Just to tie it all in. And then for you as well?
That's what we're talking about today. So, yeah, I agree with Magda. It's living the moment and enjoying when you are, even when you are composing something. No, enjoying. We were before this talk. We were having a conversation, and I was telling Magda that to create my last record, I accidentally broke my knee, so I had to stay in bed for, I don't know, for more than 2 weeks in a row. And in that moment, I felt terrible, of course, but I asked my wife, can you please go to the studio and bring this drum machine to me? So, and I spent like 2 weeks just with my drum machine and with a pen and a paper, and I wrote a new record, you know, and I out of a bad situation or of a bad moment, there's something good. And this record is out, well, was out last week on vinyl. And yeah, enjoying while you are creating is so important, because there's somehow it's you can feel it when you listen to it. When you listen to this record, when I listen to my record now, I'm remembering the moment. Okay, I was you know, like, with a drum machine, and then I realized, okay, so I'm gonna put this fill. I'm gonna add 2 more bars here because I think it's gonna work better. You know, I remember all these moments when I hear my record, and it's so, it makes me feel good, comfortable.
Yeah, a lot of artists I talk to, like, I'll clean it up right now. I think what we're all alluding to is this idea of enjoying these rare moments we get when we create these sort of like states of mind that only happen when you're in a state of movement, of building something big that you kind of underlying know is big. I think that's why we all do it. I think we're trying to capture something because we feel like it's kind of our job maybe. And we're all out of time. But I think this is really what the flow state is really about. I think I think the flow state comes when you're being most intuitive with what you're doing, with your presence, with your challenge, with your creation, when it's all kind of converging together to create art, you know. And I think that's what we all came here for today, and that's all we have. So thank you guys.
Thank you.